It happens here, in Melrose, home to former Boston Bruin great Andy Brickley, Olympic bobsled medalist Steve Langton, and Pee Wee hockey star Chris McKinnon. First settled in 1628, Melrose gets its name from the burgh of Melrose, Scotland. The name, a reference to the hills of its Scottish namesake, was suggested by William Bogle, a Scotland native and longtime resident of Melrose. And among its rolling hills, Melrose is pioneering a new trend in education. As the first Massachusetts member of the New England Secondary School Consortium, NESSC is an innovative regional partnership of cities and towns that's providing students with a unique and more personalized method of learning. Founded in 2007, the consortium consists of 124 schools from all 6 New England states, making it all the more incredible that Melrose is the first and still only member school for Massachusetts.
In New England, Massachusetts was the only one that did not belong. We began to look at individualized or personalized learning. And we began to look at a concept called universal design for learning.
The philosophy of the consortium is based on the common sense understanding that no 2 students learn alike. With that understanding, school districts like Melrose are focusing curriculum around the interests and passions of the individual student.
When you think about competency-based education, it really goes where students have interests. If a student has an interest in math, we shouldn't stop him from pursuing that interest. We should find a way to help him go further than maybe we have the ability to within a brick and mortar building.
It feels nice knowing that a specific course is tailored around you and what you want to do.
One of the best things we're doing is definitely what has happened with the collaboration between not only the teachers but the students. We had, the frameworks, but It was kind of like nothing was being held accountable. So now we work so closely together.
Melrose and communities like it are working hard to prepare their students for a fast-changing world. Old ways of teaching are creating disadvantages among students.
I think you have to think about not just Massachusetts, but our economy as a whole. One of the things that superintendents as a whole are talking about is we can no longer predict what the future looks like for our young people. If our students don't have that ability to think on their feet, to be analytical, to be constant learners, they will be left behind.
Really, the kids are taking ownership for their own learning, and hopefully once they go out into the world and they're working with other people, they will become good collaborators.
Students at Melrose High School are now becoming examples of what the future of education looks like. More independence, more critical thinking, and more success.
What we're moving to is what some people refer to as a student-centered model, where they have more say about how they learn and how they demonstrate learning.
It's made me just a better student in general.
The consortium is focused not on how the students learn, but that they're learning somehow.
You're always looking back to the data to make sure that your assumptions are correct, and then changing course when you find some data that doesn't support. What kind of your initial reaction?
You constantly look at how are we doing, what should we do better, what do we have to change, what are the current expectations for students once they leave us.
As more cities and towns join the New England Secondary School Consortium, we'll see the face of education across the region change for the better.
You can have a lot more personalized opportunities at Melrose than I could at any other private school, no matter how much money I paid for it.
The expectation really down the road is to create a model of education that is specific to Melrose. No 2 communities are alike, but is constantly re-examining itself, being adaptable and flexible for students' benefits. That's really where we want to get to.